Ooh, what's good, family? Shout out to my doggy, Johnny Boy Walker, for boosting up your man the YB coin 1,000,000%. So, as you've seen by the title, we got some unfortunate and disturbing news right now regarding your man's Anthony, the number one weight pumper of all time. Yeah? It's that line. I told you before, the second weight pumper of all time behind the number one 8-time Mr. Olympia, Ronnie, the big bulbous man, Coleman, 100%. Yeah? Listen, like I said, you see the title right now. Now, this is something that you man who know me know. I couldn't give a F what you are. I don't care if you're pink. I don't care if you're yellow. If you're the best man for the job, take that damn job. Yeah? But I've been sitting back for the last few years. Yeah, you man know I've been sitting back, preying on some of Mr. Anthony Johnston's conduct. Let's not forget, people. Again, number one, if you're the right man for the job, you should get the job. That's the first thing. The second thing is, like I said, let's not forget, Mr. Johnston, when all the hit piece news came out back in 2020 about George Floyd, yeah, when it was popular to be part of the team, yeah, when it was popular to be part of Team Melanin, your man Johnston was all in the video. Yeah, we need to support our own. Yeah, we need to do this, we need to do that. And what you notice about these cabal of celebrity dons, yeah, they've always got the advice for everyone else. It's do as I do, or it's do as I say, not as I do. They all got all the good things to say when it's popular, but guess what? When it's not popular, when it's not the popular opinion, well, again, when have you heard AJ say anything? AJ one of them dons who sits back and says, oh, no, yeah, I need them coins, I need that white man coin. That's what he says, 100%, and fair play to the guy, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying, 100%. We need that white man coin. White man coin the best coin right now, 100%. There's no doubt about that, the best coin. However, since he went out of his way to make such a point about it, it begs the question, for me, especially when there's better qualified people from his own so-called community, that time and time again he's overlooked. And not only in the training position. When you actually take a step back, bear in mind, Mr. Johnston was the man who stood up there and said, we need to support our own, which I don't actually disagree with. I think it does often. I mean, AJ for me is a case study of that. AJ is a prime example of how it can go the other way. Yeah? Often growing up I'm mixed race myself, and I can even though I'm only half melanated, still, growing up, you do have this, and people, I'm sure there's a lot of dons who are going to be mad hearing this, but it's when you grow up, you do get the feeling white is right. Yeah? Now, I can't explain that, but the bottom line is, I've felt that. You feel like there's security in being white. You want white people around you, especially from a business point of view. So I'm not knocking it, but again, you ain't heard me stand up there and sit there and say, if I was the one woofing about this, that, the other, it's completely different. Mr. Johnston took it upon himself, when it was popular, to stand up there preaching about what we must do. Yeah? Oh, and let's not also forget that he's always preaching about being a leader. Oh, I lead the community, I do this, I do that. You don't do anything. That's what you don't do. Apart from woof, apart from sell gambling. Oh, we all should meet at William Hill. Yeah. Oh, all the boys should gather at William Hill. What? Funny style, goofy dude. And the worst thing is, Mr. Johnston, he's already made his money now. He shouldn't need no more money. And still, we see him trying to get as many people into William Hills as possible. But anyway, I've digressed there. Let's get back to the point here. The point is, people, yeah? Mr. Johnston, a few years ago, made a big statement about how we need to keep coin within our own economy. Or we need to go out, and again, I do actually agree with that, because if you don't have an active mindset, you will find yourself, for example, people buy Gucci, people buy Louis Vuitton. That money, or as a norm, people will buy Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and no one has a problem with that, yeah? Equally though, with these, we're told what, and this is one small example, we're told what luxury is. It just so happens luxury is all Italian You know what I'm saying? One of them ones, which means other people trying to get a look in can't get a look in. And to be honest, to be fair with you, it works the other way as well to some extent. For example, to be a great basketball player, the common thing's going to be black and 7 foot tall. So it's not isolated. I'm not saying it in all occasions it's the white way, but take out sport really. Apart from sport, what positive? There ain't nothing. You don't know. Not many people think of anything positive apart from sport. Let's be real now. Yeah, that's the bottom line. Take out sport. What do you tell me? Some positive influences you've seen from the black community. There you go then. And that's not because there aren't any. That's because you just don't hear about it. And in fact, you hear about all the bad things. Anyway, the point is, people. Yeah, Johnston come out. He out here on a pedestal talking about what we should do, what we shouldn't do. Now, over the last few days, I've made videos pointing out AJ. There's many trainers 10 times more qualified than his current set. Jamel Charlo and Errol Spence's trainer, Derek James. Derek James put a statement out or told someone that he was befuddled when AJ came to Texas and didn't even visit his gym. Of all the gyms in the world here, for training smaller than heavyweight fighters, honestly, that would be the gym I'd go to. Especially like someone like AJ. Errol Spence and Charlo have got that AJ kind of build as well. Obviously, they're not going to be pumped up with weights because they're smaller weights, but in terms of, they're all relatively tall, but they're strong tall, aren't they? They're not wiry tall, they're strong tall. AJ, he should really, if he could model his style on any style, it would be the Charlo, it would be the, or the Jamel, it would be the Spence. Bottom line, AJ ain't even go there. Oops. Yeah, that's the first one. Second one, Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill. He's proven in a heavyweight division. He's proven I can take someone who don't have no punch and turn him into a puncher. People are, some Fury haters are mad about hearing that. That's what the facts say. If you don't like it, that's on you. Yeah, because let's not forget, people, we was all laughing, Fury don't have no power. Now he knocking your best man's out. And that's the thing I don't understand. We was all laughing at Fury having no power, and we was all saying, Dillian White gonna do this, Fury can't do that. And your man Dillian got knocked out of one punch. All of a sudden, all the people backing Dillian to knock Fury out, no, Dillian's a bum. What? You were saying Dillian was gonna do this and do that, so we can't move the goalposts. We were saying for years Dillian was gonna smoke Tyson Fury. We were saying for years Tyson Fury has no power. Well, the man who was supposed to do all this with Fury got knocked out with one punch. Fury didn't even set up. Fury just didn't do nothing for 7 rounds and knocked him out cold with one punch. That's what it is. Yeah? So we can get rid of that myth now that Fury don't have no power. He has power with the best of them. Bottom line. And to be honest with you, as far as the heavyweight division goes now, Fury's the hardest puncher. Alongside, well, take out Wilder's. Wilder's got a good right hand, but he don't have... yeah, but either way, Fury's definitely top 2. Whatever way you want to look at it. Yeah? And it's not as if Fury's been a puncher from day one. Sugar Hill took Fury from feather fist to big puncher in a few weeks. That is the kind of skills you need. But again, what's the problem with Sugar Hill? He's melanated. If Sugar Hill was called Javier Valdez, AJ would have brought him in 100%. Yeah, if Derek James was called... I'm trying to think of some... I don't know. If Derek James was called... I don't know. Think of some Mexican name beginning with D. He'd be in there. That's what you best believe he would be. AJ be on the phone. AJ, he'd be, yeah, I need to bring you in because you've 100%. Yeah, that's what he'd be doing. Facts. And when you look throughout AJ's career, it was Rob McCracken, Tony Sims, Fernando Alonso, and now Robert Garcia. No melanin in there. Yeah, and it's not just a trainer, promoter, Eddie Hearn. His management team, 258 Management, Freddie and some other goober. Oops. So the whole way there, everyone in power positions in AJ's team don't have no melanin in their skin. And again, don't make no difference to me. He the one saying, we need to do this. We need to make sure we support our... We're happening. And again, it's not really an issue. I don't think, in this world today, I don't think there's an argument for a better promoter than Eddie Hearn anyway. So that's not a problem.
But AJ's management team, 258 management, they didn't have no infrastructure before AJ. 258 management, that Freddie guy, they are AJ. AJ literally went out of his way to put them on. They didn't have a company before AJ came along. So it begs the question, Mr. Oh, I want to help everyone out. Why couldn't you put someone from the hood on as such? Oops, yeah? It's not like it was like Eddie Hearn where he had the whole infrastructure and it made sense. But again, it shows you the hypocrisy here. People want to sit there and preach when it's relevant, and when it's not relevant, they disappear. I've got nothing to say and make decisions blatantly to the contrary. Yeah, and even if you want to, let's forget about the promoter thing. Let's forget about the management team. In this trainer example, we have 1-for-1. There ain't no other thing. I don't care what no one says. There's no other explanation. You've picked a man who's trained small people. Not even, Jamel Charlo and Errol Spence, they're 160, 168 pounders, really. So, if you're going to pick anyone who trains small men, for me it'd be that Don. Not Mikey Garcia's trainer, who's done what? What's he done? What's Robert Garcia done in the last 10 years? Well, we know he ain't trained no heavyweights, that's for a start. And we know he ain't done much, and we know he's not in shining form right now. Derek James is shit hot right now. Yeah, and that's not to say that, oh well, you can't chase the shit hotness. You can. That's what you can do. That's where I'd start. Yeah, another guy from the UK. And people might laugh at this, but I think Tunde. I think if you're going to take a chance with anyone, I'd go with Tunde. Because whatever you say about Anthony Yard, yeah, Anthony Yard emptied the tank. And to some extent, Anthony Yard and Tunde have exhibited elements of the relationship I've heard Cus D'Amato talk about. Mike Tyson said that when Cus told him to bite, he would bite. Yeah, when Tunde said empty the tank, rightly or wrongly, he emptied the tank. That's a man who has the belief in what's right. And beyond that, imagine if Tunde had AJ in that kind of state where he could have said in the 6th round against Usyk, empty the tank. At least he'd have gone out with some pride. Yeah, at least he'd have gone out and we could all say, well, you know what, he went all in and blew his load and it was game over. I'd rather that than him go in there and get his head boxed off and look stupid. Big bulbous dude on the ropes in the 12th round, feeling sorry for himself. That was a bad look, super bad look. It's better to get knocked out, to be honest with you. At least Yard went out on his back. Yeah, I preferred what Yard did against Kovalev than what AJ did against Usyk. Bottom line for me, self-preservation's dead. In this game in boxing, yeah. The last thing you need is self-preservation. You might as well, like I said before, you might as well be retired. If you're going in there to preserve your bonds, don't bother. Yeah, sit down somewhere with all your millions and do whatever zesty business you want to do with Fernando. That's what you should be doing. This game ain't for you, 100%. And Tunde again, a lot of people, even myself, just there using that example, they focus on that empty the tank thing. But in reality, Yard's a lot more than that. Yard, actually, is pretty skillful. He's not Floyd Mayweather, but he doesn't need to be. He's got, as far as, when you think, I'm sorry, but Buatsi and that, I just don't rate them. I think Yard chews him up, personally speaking. I'll back that with money as well. You know me, I'm not one of the man who goes, oh, and then not putting the coin up. The coin go up, 100%. I think Yard will smoke. And in fact, I was one of the few ones who backed Yard with coin when he fought Arthur. People was telling me, no, why be Arthur can do this? Arthur got his pack smoked. That's what Arthur did. Queen Arthur, his pack was smoked. And what does that show as well? That shows you another quality. Team Yard, Tunde Ajayi was able to fix things. And to some extent, the Yard versus Arthur fight was very similar to the AJ and Usyk 1 fight. Obviously, Usyk is leagues above Arthur, but the principle's the same. Yard went in there in the first fight to play tit-tap-toe. The second fight, he was on this thing. He went in there and put the hammer down. That's exactly what AJ needs to do. But guess what? Tunde, he too melanated. No good. Oh, what's that, Tunde? You from Nigeria or wherever he's from? Sorry, mate. No, I got to go to El Mexican because the answer couldn't possibly be from my own community. Oops. That's what I'm telling you. That's what AJ. And the thing about AJ is a lot of people, they're not conscious of their subconscious mind. Yeah, we've been programmed. So we know AJ low IQ. He won't even know the biases he's got running in his bonds. He won't even know them. He won't even recognize them. Most people go through life not even clocking. Yeah, I mean, the only guy, AJ, in AJ's team, yeah, it's embarrassing. Everyone in key positions of power in his team are, there ain't no hood dude. For all this talk about the hood, yeah, there ain't no one who looks like AJ in power positions within his team. And the only Don in there, the Don who washes, literally, he's got Eddie as the promoter, he's got Freddie and 258 as the managers, he's got a whole bunch of non-melanated trainers, and then he's got some dude who washes his drawers, and guess what? That was the nick. Oops. It's bad. Some guy called DJ or something. One of them ones. Oh, okay, so wait there. So DJ washes your drawers, and Eddie Hearn and 258 Management do the real business. And that tells you all you need to know about AJ. Yeah, he say one thing and do another. Yeah, and that's fine. That's your business. But don't be preaching to people about what you need to do and do the opposite. Especially when, as I've explained, there's a whole bunch of people. Derek James, Sugar Hill. I mean, James Ali Bashir came into camp. He has trained Usyk before. He's lived with Klitschko. He was under Manuel Stewart with Klitschko. All that wealth of heavyweight knowledge and Usyk specific knowledge. AJ overlooks him and goes with Robert Garcia, who has no heavyweight experience, who has no Usyk experience. It's like, what are we doing here? I'm telling you now, James Ali Bashir, Derek James, Sugar Hill, and Tunde Ajayi, I'd take any one of them over Fernando and Robert Garcia. I'd take half of one of them over both of them clowns. Simple as that. Fernando and Robert Garcia are clowns. Yeah, give me half of Tunde, I'll get them two out of there instantly. Yeah, get me half of Sugar Hill, them two out of there instantly. Get me half of Derek James, them two out of there instantly. Get me half of James Ali Bashir, them two out of there instantly. 100%. Yeah, but this video, you saw the title, exposing AJ's hypocrisy, and I think AJ, a lot of people, growing up, it is easy to have that, but AJ needs to counselling. AJ needs to, because he preaches about it, but I don't think, he don't love himself. He don't. I don't think it's a coincidence he went to Texas and didn't visit Derek James. That to me is baffling. Yeah? Obviously, Fernando in his ear, and that's what I told you before. Fernando's a snake. Yeah? Because how can you go to Texas, and anyone who cares about AJ, clearly Fernando's playing that trainer / half manager role, yeah? Anyone in that role who wants the best for AJ would have said, listen, AJ, here's the itinerary. If I was with AJ, yeah, the itinerary would have been of, okay, we're going to Texas, let's look at the best 2 gyms there. Oops, yeah? Let's go to them 2 gyms to start with. How about that? Fernando ain't do that, did he? He knows where to take AJ. Let's take AJ to all the bums. Robert Garcia, fucking hell. And the way some of you AJ Man fans are gassed is embarrassing. What be? Robert Garcia. Wow. You man are proper down bad, all the way bad. Going out super sad. Yeah? That's what you are doing. So, for me, AJ's career is done. I think the best thing for him now will be to be fully washed. I'd love for Usyk to knock him spark out. I don't think it will happen. Hopefully Fury can do the business. That's the only thing for AJ right now. I'm done with the guy. Yeah? Because it's one thing. For years I've been saying, Rob McCrappen must go. And we've got rid of McCrappen. And you've got a guy in who, in my opinion, is even worse. I think Fernando, and AJ hasn't learnt his lesson. After the Usyk fight, everyone said, you need one voice in the corner. You don't need a whole bunch of backslappers. Yes, AJ, great AJ. Nothing you did that night, I'm telling you now, not one thing AJ did that night was great. It was all mediocre, at best. To be honest, given you lost all your belts, it was below mediocre. Mediocre would have been retaining the titles and looking bad. Got your ass whooped and then he knocked out by a man who's never knocked no one out. That's what it is. He hasn't. Usyk and a puncher at the top level, and he nearly knocked you out. Yeah? For me, that's one of them ones. It's almost like, if you're running a company, yeah, and 1 year, your company goes from 100 billion or 10 billion in profit and drops to 10 billion negative, you must go. There's no second chances. And AJ's whole team at that point, After what happened against Usyk, should have been completely cut off. The whole lot of them, all bums, all backslappers. But AJ don't have no management. That's what it comes down to. Freddie, that other they're both goobers. They don't have any clue about boxing. They don't. How can you be a boxing manager and you never done no? Freddie, and he don't know nothing. That Freddie guy, he don't know. What's his resume and what is it? What's he done? Nothing. Yeah, he saw AJ, he clung on to him, and that was that. No, but really, that's all well and good. When AJ was on the up and up here, Klinger honours like 258 management were fine, because I mean you're on the up and up, you're fighting bums, and it's easy. Knowledge or real management knowledge isn't necessary. It doesn't matter until it matters. Do you understand? When you're knocking everyone out, of course, oh yeah, 258 management. Big thanks to Freddie. Big thanks to Eddie. And that's not when it matters. Good management matters now. When you got someone who can say, wait there a minute, AJ, why are we bringing Robert Garcia in when we've got A, B, C, D there? Each of which have better skills, absolutely, than the bum you're about to bring in. That's what great management, that's what, not even great, that's what standard management would say. AJ got 20-man team and not one man stepped in and said, wait there a minute, we got these 5 nicks here, these 5 overqualified nicks. Tunde, Derek James, James Ali Bashir, the other Don, Sugar Hill, yeah? 4 or 5 top dons, and that's not, and I haven't picked, the thing about it is, yeah, I actually haven't picked them because, for that reason. It just so happened the top 4 guys are all melanated. Before, in the past, I've talked about Canelo's trainer. Initially, I thought that was the best one, but we all found out that Canelo's trainer is another yes man. Canelo's trainer didn't tell him anything in the corner when he was losing. Just sat there and backslapped him. Yeah, he's a sideman. Eddie Reynoso, a big massive sideman. A big bulbous, out-of-shape sideman. And to be honest, we should have known that. Because any trainer who bulbous, yeah, any trainer who's morbidly out of shape, it's a bad look. And it shows you've got no discipline yourself. No discipline, have an ass. Yeah, how you meant to lead the troops to battle and you're all out of shape? Get in some shape, Eddie. Yeah, big soft having ass. So Eddie no good. And to be honest, Eddie's the best one out of a lot of them. If I had to pick Eddie and Robert, I'd take Eddie every time. Yeah? But even that, Eddie and Garcia right now, whether you want to talk about form or whatever, they're below the guys I've just mentioned. Because Derek James has replicated it. James Ali Bashir has real heavyweight and Usyk knowledge. Tunde Ajayi, well, he can get rematches done. Yeah. The other Don's name, Sugar Hill. Well, we know about Sugar Hill. So there you go, people. AJ, you going out super sad, and it's one of them ones, 100%.